Yeah, you look great,
Yeah,
Lee.
that's great.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for let us to be involved with this beautiful project. So can you let us know what is this project about?
So this project is a extension of my flower series and a kind of a sub-series inside of a series. The main point of the series is to reflect between the tight connection between human and urbanism and the memories of nature that used to be here before us. The main concept of this project is we let people stepping on canvas to create the footprints of human walking in a certain block in New York City. The footprint creating a kind of a living memory or a kind of abstract expressionist painting that will remind human that walking at that certain location. The next step of this process will create a research that will figure out which kind of plant life is to grow up at the same location. In our project in Manhattan, we can find examples of flowers as wild roses and wild irises, all different colors, that used to grow up in here, and now they're basically the only place you can find them are in certain parts in the city that they're not even native. It's funny, they're man-made and man-brought back to the city. The final product will combine the painting of the flowers that will establish a memory of nature that's surrounded by the footprints of human, and that will define the memories of human and the conflict that are raised between human and nature.
That's so interesting because can we understand this way? Like, okay, this project actually records the residents of New York City,
Yes.
Manhattan, who lived and live in New York City in different times, but they're all showing in your project
At the same time.
and the same covers. So could you give us some names about who were the old residents who used to live in New York?
Well, mostly the old residents are trees and shrubs and trees like gray birch, flowers like wild roses that were very common around the city. Obviously plant life, obviously animals that you cannot see anymore in the city. There is even a transition between native plant life that used to grow up all over, and most of the plants you see today in New York are invasive species that human brought with them. So even the nature we're creating inside of the urbanism center is becoming a man-made nature. And my painting are trying to show what kind of the influence of man-made, and at the same time show what's been here before us.
That's so interesting. I believe a lot of cities have already lost the memories of our older residents. So what is the process it's going to take for you to finish this project? And so what do we expect to see, the final piece?
So the final piece will be a classical oil and acrylic painting stretched on canvas, and that will be created in several processes. The first process is the laying down of the canvas in a New York street block and letting people just walking and stepping on it and leave their marks on it. The second stage, doing the research and figure out which kind of plant life grow at the same certain location we did the public engagement in. And after we're doing that, I'm taking the canvas back to my studio and I'm gonna paint with oil paints and acrylic the actual flower that grew up at the same location. And yeah,
So I believe this is a fascinating project. Do you have plans to bring this to other cities as well? There are a lot of busy cities in the world.
Yes, so obviously because urbanism is a very difficult situation and complicated situation in our days and I think every center, and we can see it, it's a huge discussion these days, ecological and the influence of human and nature. And my plan is to take this project and bring it to other cities and research what kind of plant life they had before. And another version of this project will be the other way around and going to a place that currently are nature, but in the process of becoming urban landscapes. And then also see what will be the difference between the influence of human in an urban surrounding, or the influence of human in a surrounding that's going to become urban.
Village One is very honored to be part of this project. We are very, very happy, and also I believe there are a lot of people actually taking part of this project. Do you have anything to say to people who actually stepped on the canvas?
Yes. So first of all, I highly appreciate the Village One Art Space for giving me the hand and helping me with this project. Obviously, we also need to thank the New York Foundation of the Arts that sponsors some of this project and will help to promote it. And obviously, I think the people that's stepping on the canvas that are becoming a significant part in the actual work itself, because their memory, although we'll never know who they are, the chances of them seeing the final product is very slim, but the fact that they actually walk on the canvas create a situation where their memory will last forever as long as the painting is still there. So they contribute in their way.
Yeah, they are part of the project.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, that's great.